Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special evening for the footballers, for the supporters, for the moms, the dads, the coaches. It's a really nice atmosphere here at Pier 57. It's the Centennial celebrations. Of course, we're celebrating 100 years of successful football in the Tri-Island State Grenada Carriacou and the Petite Martinique, a special night for all players and stakeholders. I'm joined by Rooney J.
Yes, the man himself. Good night to everybody that's on the live right now. As Mikey said, welcome to the Grenada Football Association ceremony night. Our ceremony night is going to be a bumper night. There's a lot of lovely people already on the inside ready to go. You can hear the sweet steel pan music in the background. Come on, guys, keep tuned to the live for more.
Yeah, man. And so, we're not going to make it a boring night. We have awards to give away. We have entertainment. We have speeches to be done. And I want us to, before we get the night really rolling, talk to some people, who makes football happen.
We have to do that.
Yeah, man. We have to talk to some people who make football happen. So, I see that we have the president here.
He's here.
I see we have other members of the executive here as well. Just chit-chatting, networking, mingling. And so, we're going to try to see how we can engage with them as well. And just make it a really good night. As you said, they're still playing in the background. People are enjoying that. It's a nice little cocktail vibes. Soon we'll be able to share that with our viewers. So we're going to go over to our very first on the red carpet, and yes, it is indeed a red carpet. Come on down. It's a red carpet affair.
You think they are ready to see you on the live?
Yeah, man. Come on,
Join us at the red carpet.
Yeah, you could come in the middle.
All is yours.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. You look so beautiful.
Thank you.
All right. So tell us your name, and I heard that you're a football mom.
So my name is Tira Livingston, and yes, I am a soccer mom.
Okay.
I am currently raising a 10-year-old boy who dreams to become a professional footballer.
Nice.
Just like Messi.
Just
And
like
his
Messi.
main goal is to become a top player on Barcelona. So we are paving the way to achieve that goal.
Okay. How is it like being a soccer mom? Is he talking soccer all the time?
It's good. It's mixed emotions. Sometimes I can't take the ball kicking all day, but at the end of the day, he has to achieve his goals. So sometimes I just accept him and just move away from it.
Okay. Is it hard to balance the academics with his sports abilities, with his soccer football abilities?
Sometimes it can be a little challenges because some of the coaches that we're currently speaking with indicates that he's supposed to be playing football 7 hours 4 days per week, right? And you know that, yeah, that's what he said, 4 days per week. So, and then you know that school is from 8 to 2:30. So from school, he has after class, which finishes at 4:30. After 4:30, we go down to the pasture to meet the coach so that we can get at least an hour and a half training. So it could be a little challenging at time, but we balance. We do balance, yes.
Well, that's good.
Mikey, I would have preferred to hear that he's a Cristiano Ronaldo fan, but
Oh, no. I can't say that. He wouldn't like me to hear him say that on the live. I'm sorry.
Great is great,
Yes.
He chose one great.
Yes.
yes, most definitely.
All right, so I encourage everyone to tune into the live as we enjoy this momental evening. So have a good night, everyone, and thank you.
It was good
No
having
problem.
you. Yeah, nice. All
Yeah,
right.
That was a good one, Mikey.
Yeah, man. It's good to have the support of the parents
Yes.
for the youngsters.
And I love seeing not just fathers, but the soccer moms. It's
Yes.
a bit more special when you have the soccer moms involved because the dad is always the one that wants
Yes,
the kids to
yeah,
play football,
yeah.
and the mom will be like, "No, Ian, I have no time for that. You have
Yeah.
to study the books." So I'm very happy to see the soccer moms out with us here tonight.
Yeah, that's good, man. I see we have the president. I have to see if I could get the president because I want to talk to the
Yes.
president too.
Well, he's a busy man, but
Yeah, I'll come on the live
We'll
if
have
I
to
could
steal
get
2
him.
minutes from him.
Yeah, if I could get him, we'll get him. But I'll see if I can get somebody to get him in a while. But you yourself play a little football as well. Are you coaching yet, or?
Not as yet. I'm still playing in the GFA league as well. I'm playing in the first division for Class Hub Roots.
Yeah.
I mean, we are facing relegation right now, but we're going to try our best to get out that relegation zone so we can possibly stay in that division and maybe get to the Premier League probably next season.
Yeah, well, yeah, man. I mean, it's step by step, yeah.
Most definitely.
Step
That's
by
what it
step.
is.
I mean, it is not easy, and it's a team sport. And I admire when I see, all the little pieces starting to come together, because I
Yes,
know the
yes.
struggles from the grassroots level when some of these teams are trying to establish themselves. And, it's tough getting consistent players, getting the time, even, there are so many moving parts, and you have to kind of like manage to get it to work well.
True,
So when you start
true.
to play at a more professional level, and so it's just left to be admired.
Yes, and I'm like what I'm seeing so far with the grassroots, and so I mean, probably back then they didn't have the opportunity to have like a proper structured grassroots program for the youth, because I myself grew up playing football, playing with Pecos Lewis. There wasn't this, level of grassroots program that we would work with, but I'm happy with what I'm seeing now. We should see a lot more players coming out of Grenada, probably representing in the Premier League or in La Liga in Spain. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's all good. We have all sorts of people here. I see the Minister for Sports with us tonight. I even see we have our own cricketer here, Afi Fletcher. I wonder if she could play football, boy. We have multi-talented people, right?
I think we should talk to her.
You have to talk to her?
Yeah.
All right. Afi, come on down. Come on the red carpet. Come on. Because Afi is a really, really
We
good...
just call your name on the live. You can't do us that.
Afi, you can't turn us down like that, Afi? She's such a really good cricketer, right?
Yeah.
And when I saw that she was home, I was like, oh my God, it's really good to be rooted and grounded.
Yes.
And I've followed Afi from since she started, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy to see how she has,
She's a very successful cricketer.
Yes, Afi, how are you doing? Come on down on the red carpet. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thanks.
Okay, well, it's a pleasure to have you. And we were talking about successful sports people, and then I glimpsed you in the corner there, and I was just telling Rooney how excellent you are at your craft,
All right, thank you. I
Yes.
appreciate it.
All right, I feel we are really proud of what you have done for West Indies women cricket, and, just making Grenada proud as well, and your little home village.
Yes, it's always good to, represent and make the people feel proud. Once I've given the people what they like, I feel good. Once the family and the fans and everybody happy, I'm happy also. Yeah.
Okay. And people like yourselves encourage others, just by what you do. You don't even have to speak, but once you play, people want to be like you, and you find them in the communities. I want to be like Afi.
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
I mean, to be a role model is always feel honored, and I appreciate that I can catch the eyes of young persons, whether it's young girls or young boys. But also you don't just happen like that. I want to tell them that you have to be disciplined and work hard to achieve the success you want.
Well, thanks very much, Afi. Have a great night, and you look fabulous.
Thank you.
All right, great.
All
Yeah,
right.
man, Rooney, and
Yeah.
it doesn't come overnight, as she's saying. You have to work hard for what you want.
I mean, it was a pleasure being in the midst of a celebrity. The most I've seen Afi is probably on Instagram or YouTube. I didn't even expect her to be so soft-spoken, given
Yes,
that
yes.
cricket is a game where you have to project your
you
voice a
have to
lot.
be- yeah.
Right? But I'm very happy for her. She's a successful cricketer. As you say, the youths out there can follow in her footsteps. She can be that motivation to them.
And I believe that tonight's the night of soccer. They say soccer, football. I don't say football,
Well,
right?
I rather football.
Yeah, you're rather football, because that's what I grew up to. I know
Yes.
football. When I start to watch TV, I hear soccer.
yeah, soccer.
Yeah. So the thing is, when we look back at what it was before, and can school, little boy kicking
Of course.
ghost wanting.
I probably kick a chubby bottle before I kick an actual ball.
Exactly, and it just goes to show how we have progressed.
Yes.
There's always room for improvement, but how we have progressed as a nation with regards to professional sports, whether it's cricket, whether it's football, athletics, we are doing well per capita against the world. I think we can give
definitely.
ourselves a tap on the shoulder.
Most
for that.
definitely, and we have progress not only just directly in the sport, but as you can see, like before we had to go like 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the evening and get we sweat or go to training, but now there are
Right.
many fields that are lit up around the island where players can come from, because football is probably not the main source of income. So players have to go to work and then find the time to come to training. So that the fact that we have lights and so now right around Grenada, give the players a chance to go to work, probably rest a bit, and then come out to training.
And I think that's one of the things that it's kind of like has come as an impediment towards the development of any sporting discipline. The fact
Most
that
definitely.
it has been difficult for people to treat it as a profession because, we don't have the facility, or we have not had the facility over the years to support that. But we're getting there. I mean, it's just interesting that you mentioned about the lights, because yesterday we were passing in one of the communities and we saw the lights. I think it was in St. David, and we saw the light on the basketball court. And we were saying how important that is. As insignificant as it may seem, it's very important, because now you are giving the players an opportunity to balance things off a bit. You don't no longer have to compete between work and what you love. Because now you're having an opportunity to play your football, your soccer, football, and still work and still do whatever. And so now, as things are progressing, we can start slowly treating it as a profession, where we can be paid for it. Kirani has shown us that is very possible. Afi Fletcher has showed us that it is very possible. And so as they continue to progress, I think that more and more people will get involved and see this as something that is important for them, can actually bring an income, a livelihood for them and their families.
Yeah, most definitely. And the lights are not only doing a good job for the players, but for the fans as well.
Yes.
You get a chance to come out and watch football on the weekend, on evenings.
Yeah, man.
And the night time you do all your work. And then you come and enjoy some lovely football in the park, all because we had that opportunity to put lights in the facilities.
Yeah, and the place cool. I mean, we can agree that. We're competing for heat on the equator. So again, being able to play at a cooler time too. That does well for us. That does well for us.
Definitely.
Where's Rainey? I'm hoping that I could have seen Rainey so that she could have gotten me the president. I'm hoping that I can get the president to.
Somewhere there.
Yeah, man.
Probably in conversation somewhere.
But I'll hope that somebody will tell him we're trying to get to him or so, so that I can have a little word with him.
Anybody on the live could send Mr. President a message and tell him we need him here right now.
Tell the president, they say on the live they need to speak to him, because we don't have I don't see our chaperone, I don't see how to call it, so
I guess everybody's taking in the event and having a good time.
Yeah, man, because I like what I'm seeing, the little finger foods, the little cocktail, and again, folks, don't feel jealous, we'll show you the thing in a while.
Yes.
There's
definitely some lovely outfits here as well that you can see, trust me. It's gonna be
well, you yourself come out looking sharp. They say, man, that wear pink is confident.
Of course, I had to stand out tonight. As you see, I can't hide because most people are wearing black. And I'm
so
a pink suit
stand out, pink stand out, man. So that's really good to see Ronnie J out in his pink. Ladies, check out Ronnie and the pink now. Whoa!
Take a screenshot on the live, a screen recording, something. Tag me on Instagram.
Yeah, man. So tonight is a night that would recognize some of the best in the sport. The people who have administrated over the years, who have done their bit, who have made their contribution towards the administration of sports. So they are going to be awarded. The players themselves will be awarded. The coaches will be awarded. It's 100 years after all. And these people have done their part, and it deserves recognition. We're giving the people their flowers while they're alive.
Of course.
So that's what tonight is all about. It's worthy of recognition, the contribution that these people would have made towards the sport, football / soccer. Yesterday I was looking for something as we were doing the secondary school football, and then I typed in football and on Google because I was trying to research something. I'm like, but wait now. Then people recognize this sport as football. And when I type soccer, they're like,
boy.
I'm like, what? You understand? I'm like, well, wait now, what is this?
But Mikey, other than the secondary school football, did you have an opportunity to take in any of the games during the Premier League season?
I have not, because I've been so busy doing this, like working so much.
I know it goes.
Yesterday was actually the first I saw of the players, and it happened to be the final because and that's the disadvantage of people like me. We don't get to see the little things that are happening in community unless we are working, But I was happy to see such good talents coming out from the secondary level.
Most definitely, there's a lot of national players on there too. There was a lot of national players in the females game. We must shout out to SAS. They won 2 of the finals, the junior boys and the girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was unfortunate that they lost to
Boca.
Boca.
Well, Boca-
in the senior boys, it was quite a game.
They say Boca had to beat it.
Well, I think that's 4 in a row for Boca
Yes.
so far.
And the thing is, I saw the Boca strategy. Boca scored the first 2 goals in 6 minutes or something like that, and they relaxed for the rest of the game, right?
Trust me, Boca played some very good football.
Yeah. So they had a strategy, and they executed excellently that strategy, and it worked to their advantage.
Yes, and also anybody from St. Andrews watching right now, I must say shout out to the St. Andrews posse, because Mikey, in the Premier League right now, Paradise is unbeaten. They haven't lost that game for the season.
Yeah, boy.
Right, so they are going unbeaten in the Premier League season and also in the Wagiti competition.
Yeah.
So Paradise is flying right now. They are in great form. I've seen them play a couple of games for the season. They look confident. They look like they are ready to lift another title. So yeah.
Yeah, and how is St. John Sports doing?
I mean, it's been kind of rocky. St. John's Sports, they had a form throughout the season, but they kind of lost it along the way. I mean, they only lost 3 games so far, right? One of the 2 games that the first 2 games that they lost was to Paradise.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So I was able to take in the second game that they played in St. John's. Started quite well, but you know, Paradise is Paradise right now. They are the most confident team on the island. They will be very difficult to break down. But all in all, I am proud of St. John Sports, what they are doing so far. I mean, I always have, I'm a go-off man, so I always have to rep for my people.
Do you, I mean, I don't know I don't know your age. Well, I remember you as a little boy. Not that I'm so much older than you, but you remember Barbados Breakers? Was that team, the St. John Sports team? Is it kind of like a breakaway of the Barbados Breakers?
I probably might be too young to remember Barbados Breakers.
Okay.
That's from your time. All I know them as Barbados. I don't know them as Barbados Breakers.
Okay.
But I'm sure there's probably a couple of players from that team that would have gone on to play for St. John Sports over time.
Okay, yeah, and I know that was a really a strong team. And what I noticed on the Premier League level, though, is that there are a lot of inconsistencies in terms of the strength of some of the teams.
Yeah.
You'll find games at 4-0, and I'm like, well, wait, some of them are not properly matched. Is it? What can you say is attributing to that? Is it just having a bad day, or strong teams come from particular areas? What have you seen? What is the statistics say?
I mean, it's football, as we say. The ball is wrong, the field is flat. Anything could happen.
Okay.
The weakest team could be the strongest team in football.
All right. Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Some teams come with a strategy. Well, most teams come with a strategy, and sometimes it just doesn't work.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
And there are teams that probably if they get the first goal, that would break them up right away, and it would lead to more goals. There are some teams that are so confident, the coach might just tweak the tactics a bit, and they will get back in the game.
Oh. Yeah?
Yeah, that's how it works.
I saw what happened with us, the celebrity was.
Oh
we started so good. And
we
the thing just crumbled.
We started so well.
Yeah, and the thing just crumbled after a while.
I think we got a bit overconfident because
First half we say we in the bag, you know?
we had them, as they say, we had them on the ears.
Yeah, and then the thing just all massive.
I think I'm ready for the rematch. It's
Yeah,
time.
I think so.
We had to speak to Mr. President.
Yeah,
it's time for the
we
rematch.
have to give them again. So yeah, but do you see? I mean, because you've been around football for a long time, do you see strong teams coming out of particular areas, despite who the coach is? Once there's a team from that particular village or that particular community, it will be a strong team.
Yeah, well, in the Premier League, Paradise have been that team for a while.
Okay.
Also, Hurricane. We know that Hurricane had a good structure. I mean, they are struggling a bit this season, but I think once they go back to the drawing board, they would be able to get things in place. Even St. John Sports, sometimes they have their run. Sometimes they would go on a run of games, they would win, and probably along the way they might lose a few games and probably lose confidence. So probably that's a thing they have to work on. Lose as a team, win as a team, motivate each other. But for me, it's more so St. Mark's and St. Andrews. You will see those two teams battling for the title every season.
Okay.
Now and then you might have Queen's Park Rangers coming in and causing an upset, but those are the two teams for me. One of the main reasons I think that St. Andrews do so well is because it's a bigger parish. So they have a wider pool of players to choose from.
Okay.
And we
Makes sense.
always see a lot of national players come from there, whether it's the under 23, the senior team, under 16. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I understand, but It's good. I mean, it's good when the players remain committed to the game despite it all.
Most definitely.
When the committees realize that they have strong teams, they in it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so I mean, it's really good. It's really good what I see happening with football, and then you have the private sector getting involved in having their little tournaments, and so
Yeah,
just keeping
yeah.
things going a little bit. Because I remember one thing that I heard many of the coaches who came from abroad to assist with coaching the national team here is the fact that to get good players, you have to be consistently playing football.
Yep.
You can't be doing this as a side thing.
Not just playing, but playing and training. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't always have to wait on the coach to call a session for you to train.
Right.
You can also do your individual training, because the players like the Messi, the Ronaldo, they would stay back after session and practice their weak points. So they would do that by themselves. So the coach won't have to come in training and do that again,
Yeah.
because they already worked on their weak points by themselves.
All right, yeah, man. It looked like the coach has his phone off, so we'll. Not the coach, but the president has his
President.
phone off, so nobody could call the president. But in a while, we'll be getting a bit of what is taking place on the inside, folks. We're
Most
standing by for the start of the official ceremony and awards, and you'll get to see who's awarded and for what they are being awarded for. 100 years, GFA have been around doing this, managing the affairs of football in Grenada. It has had its ups and downs, but who doesn't? At the end of the day, you rise above the occasion, you come out winning, and of course the sport will always win. Football, soccer, I didn't say it because when I say soccer, some say football on
We
the
go stick
live.
to the football.
Yeah, man, I like the football. I don't know nothing more than soccer. Anyway, so we're taking a quick break to show you some of the sponsors of tonight's event, and we will come back, and then in a while we're going to go over to the official start of the ceremony. All right, so we want to say thank you to all the sponsors as we feature them on screen right now.
Out yet? I find I seen it.
So welcome back, viewers, and we have found the man himself, the president, Mr. Marlon Glean. How are you doing today?
Hey Mikey, good evening. How are you?
I'm good. Excited to see what's happening here today.
I'm very excited also. We're celebrating 100 years, and it's the final event for the year. And today is a celebration of football and the people who made it happen over the years. And I'm really excited to be here. Seen lots of familiar faces, heroes from the past, current coaches, club presidents, etc. And it's a big celebration. I'm happy to be here.
All right, great. I've followed your presidency, your reign as the president. I know from your first speeches what you wanted to see for football in Grenada. I know in our very first engagement you spoke about having this major event where you recognize or where you bring all the players and the administrators together. How would you say things are going so far now that you're there and you're seeing what's taking place with football?
I think we're moving along quite nicely. For me, the focus has to be on going back to the start, grassroots, youth development. This year actually, we launched the National Grassroots Program. And at some point, we got up to almost 3,000 kids. For me, the goal is to get to about 4,000 or 5,000 kids, which we hope to do by next year. But the joy is to go to Guave and go to Grand Mall and Montrouge and everywhere in Grenada, and see kids on a Saturday playing football, and that's where it starts. And from there, we can build into our youth national teams. A lot of football. We've had competitions at under 14, under 15, under 17, under 20. We have our leagues going on: Premier League, First Division, Second Division, all going on as we speak right now. Our women's league is going on. Tomorrow we have a major women's festival in St. Andrew, in Progress Park. So a lot of football, and that's the whole objective, to flood Grenada with football. And if we continue to provide lots of opportunities for people to play, for kids to play, then we'll have better results and better players coming through. We've also been able to get some projects from FIFA recently, in that we have the talent development scheme. It's a new program launched by FIFA, which is run by Arsene Wenger, the former Arsenal coach. And what he's going to do is to have the best players in Grenada training at least 4 or 5 times every week. January is going to go into full mode. We also launched this Football in Schools program, where every school in Grenada will have the opportunity to be part of football. There's an app that FIFA will provide, and there's training programs and stuff that the physical education teachers can get access to, and we expecting that all schools in Grenada is going to be fully involved in it next year. In terms of women's football, next year is going to be a lot of women's football. Our women's team this year, we sent our under 18 and our senior team to Trinidad for 4 matches, and they did pretty well. So I think we're on the right track. There's a lot to do, because for us to get back to winning at the senior level, the investment has to come back to the grassroots and the youth, and we're trying to lay the foundation, lay the base, and we know that once we do that, then the football is going to continue to develop and continue to rise.
Right, and of course, putting the minds and the people together, the thinkers and the players together in an event like that, I think it's kind of like a step in the right direction. We need to have the meeting of the minds a little more often. I saw you having little engagements, a little networking with players, with coaches, and so on. I think that sort of gesture would really do good for football as well.
Yeah, a lot of times we have the GFA and then we have clubs, and there's that disconnect every year where we call upon them once a year to come in and vote in elections, and that's the end of it. But what we've been doing over the last 2 years is to engage the clubs as much as possible. We've been doing a lot of what we call club development workshops, and we bring in the club presidents and the captains and the coaches into a room with speakers from abroad most of the time, and discuss different areas of the game, in terms of finance, in terms of club development, club structure, etc. So tonight we bring everybody together to celebrate the game, to celebrate the achievement of the year, to celebrate, in some instances, some of the players that were our legends, 60s, 70s, 80s. We've heard the names, And a lot of us, especially the younger folks, do not understand and do not appreciate what some of these guys have done over the years. So tonight is what we call a celebration of football. We're celebrating the 100 years anniversary of the GFA. We're celebrating football, but also, and most importantly, we're celebrating the individuals who would have paved the way, who would have made Grenada Football Association what it is.
Great. I don't know if Rooney want to talk to the boss himself.
Yeah, he spoke about the grassroots programs. So my question to him, have you seen an improvement in the terms of the players over the past couple of years since the grassroots program have been in effect?
Well, the grassroots program is young. We've only launched it about a year now. And what we've seen though is the appetite for football. So if you look at our national team games now, there are more people coming out.
Right.
If you look at even the league, the Premier League, the first division is generating lots and lots of interest. Even school football. Yesterday I was at the finals in Paradise in Progress Park in St. Andrews, and there is an appetite. People are coming out to watch football. And the young kids who are part of the grassroots, I saw quite a few of them at the finals yesterday. These kids are really into the football. And if you're excited and you're loving the game at that stage, then we know we're going to translate into players in the near future. And the whole idea is to continue to create that platform, to continue to give these kids the opportunities, and we know we're going to have good players as we go forward.
Right, so in 10 years' time, I would say, I wouldn't be, and say I want to see Grenada in the World Cup, but I would like to see Grenada challenging in tournaments for the next 10 years to come. I mean, you spoke about the youths and how well they are doing and the hunger for football, which is quite a good thing. And in the past, we have had problems where parents wouldn't want the kids to go out and play because they think that they have to study the schoolwork. But as we see now, football is a multi-million-dollar industry, right? And parents are seeing that now, and I think they are showing more interest in getting the kids to play football.
Right. I think what we didn't get right in Grenada over the years is that student athlete term or individual. So a lot of parents wanted their kids to be a lawyer, doctor, or engineer. But what you see now, a footballer today makes about 100 times what a lawyer, a doctor, or engineer is going to make. So when you look at investing in a career now, people are, especially around the world, not just in Grenada, individuals are seeing that you can actually make a career in football. But also, football can get you into one of these careers because, as a kid that is doing well at school football, etc., can get a scholarship and could go on to become that lawyer, engineer, doctor. So there's no need to separate the two. And there's a lot of studies that show that sports does not affect education. A matter of fact, the studies show that sports actually helps education. So if you have a kid who's well-rounded and can do the education and sports, we know that kid can do well as a career professional at some point, because they would have gotten all the grounding in the sport, the teamwork, the problem solving, the relationships, all these things you can get from playing a sport. So we know that will help in terms of individuals going forward.
Right, and that's a very good point, because as we can see now in the footballing world, the professional footballing world, we have players at 17 playing first team football. I must make mention of Lamine Yamal from Barcelona, and they have to have that balance between the schoolwork and the football, and they are getting it done at that level, where it's even more hectic for them because they would have to be traveling here and there and everywhere, and they are getting it done. So I don't see no reason why we cannot get it done in Grenada.
That's true.
We have to have the support as well, and I think you alluded to that. That we need to see this as a serious career path, and stop trying so hard to differentiate the two, and just find ways of supporting the youngsters. So we see the talent, we see that they have the ability, we see that they have the passion, and as you're saying, they have the appetite, and that's one of the most important element here of it, that having the appetite. So, I think that we are heading in the right direction, basically.
I believe so. As I said, once we get the grounding right, once we get the foundation right, everything takes off from there. Mm-hmm. So I can foresee, in the next 3-4 years, not even 10 years, as Ronnie mentioned, but in the next 3 or 4 years, that 10-year-old or 11-year-old who will be 14 or 15 would be on a completely different level from what you've seen in the past, because they'd have gotten grounded in the grassroots and would have gotten lots of competition in the grassroots and on under 14 and under 15, and we'll see much better players as we move forward.
All right, and again, supported by the school system, supported by the community groups, and so by the clubs to make sure that
One thing we need to do though, we must get primary school football back in the
Yeah,
schools.
most definitely.
That has diminished the quality of kids going into secondary school, because now kids are showing up at secondary school in Form 1 and Form 2 and cannot play the game. So we need to get primary school football, and I'm calling on the Ministry of Education to engage us. Let's sit down and have a discussion as to how do we get primary school football back on the curriculum at primary school, because it's very important. At school is where you capture every kid in Grenada, not at the club, not at Queen's Park Rangers, not at Paradise, not at Hard Rock, not at Centennial Sports, but at the primary school you get every kid in that community. So if we can provide that platform so these kids can actually play at primary school, we know that is another layer of development that we're missing out on. So we have to get primary school football back in the schools.
right on that
I have,
note.
I have
Okay,
one
go
more
ahead.
question.
Yeah.
Would you say no, it's harder to get kids into playing sport now that we have technology and so, because like back in the day as kids, I'm not that old, but I kind of got the last of it. When school is on holiday, you'll be outside playing cricket, football, basketball, you'll be outside for the whole day. But now we would have that challenge where kids will sit inside on their tablet or in front of the TV.
It's about kids are attracted to the next big thing, as to what is popular, what is sexy, what is attractive. And if football is attractive, or track and field is attractive, or cricket is attractive, they're going to go towards it.
Okay.
So no matter what technology you put in place, if a kid knows, if I show up at that park every day, the chances of me playing professional and making $1 million, $10 million, $15 million in the next 10 to 15 years is highly likely they're going to do it.
Right.
Kids are not doing it right now because they're not sure as to what's going to happen.
Okay.
Because we haven't proven, there haven't been a kid in Grenada who's played football and has gotten a multi-million-dollar contract in the English Premier League, etc. But that day when that one kid does it, then the floodgates open.
Yeah.
And then every kid now believes they can be the next person in line. So the how attractive the sport is, and not just football, but sports in general, is dependent on the success that we have here. When Kirani won the Olympics, there was a big hype in terms of track and field, and everybody wanted to be the next Kirani.
Right.
If we have a kid comes through and play at a Manchester United or West Ham or one of the English Premier League teams, then you know that everybody next wants to be the next big thing.
Yeah, and that's a very important point, because I've seen it with the Aline Francisque, with the Kirani James, with just name it. Once you see that the spotlight is on them, then everybody wants to be them.
It's
So
simple.
yeah,
It's simple.
Yeah.
It's a law of attraction.
Yes.
If there is something positive in the end, and in this case, there's a lot of millions of dollars sitting there waiting on the next best big footballer. Right. So if that kid comes from, the new chief of member association services at FIFA is here today.
Yeah.
He was only been appointed November 1st.
Right.
And this is his actual, how you doing? This is his actual first visit to the Caribbean.
Oh,
And
nice.
his first visit to Grenada. He's only been appointed November 1st. And I've known him, and we've had conversations in the past. And I was just talking to him, and he's saying to me that there's no difference between Grenada or Germany or Mexico or Germany or Brazil. He said because at any point, the next big player could come from anywhere in the world.
Yes.
When we saw Drogba coming from Cote d'Ivoire, and we saw Michael Essien coming from Ghana, and we saw
Dwight York from right in
Dwight York
Trinidad.
coming from right in Trinidad. Before that, there was not a train of players coming through. But that one guy made it, and all of a sudden everybody knew about Trinidad. And every Trinidadian and every Caribbean player wanted to be a Dwight York, wanted to be a Drogba, wanted to be a Asamoah Gyan from Ghana. So if we can just get that one, because that one can be, I said if there is a Kirani in Grenada, there is a Kirani in football in Grenada somewhere, because we've seen it in the past. We've seen so much great footballers that came from Grenada, from Guelph, from Victoria, the Steve Mack, the CJ Williams, there's so much, the Douglas Drayton. We've seen so much players come through from the past. that we know they're sitting somewhere. What we haven't been able to do a good job with is identifying them and managing them over a period of time until they get to. You know, before, players were getting contracts at 24 and 25. As Ronnie mentioned, players are getting contracts today at 14 and 15. So it doesn't take too long to get that player from point A to point B. So if you find that 10-year-old or 9-year-old, all we need is about 4 years of investment, and by 15 he should be going somewhere. So the opportunities are there. It's just a matter of making sure that the grassroots works well, and if the grassroots work well, we know we have the natural talent. The natural talent is going to present itself, and then we're going to find all these quality players coming through.
Yeah. I mean, well said. And we know we have the players there. We have to also look into the private sector too. I remember there are companies who kind of like they had their own little tournaments and scouting sessions going on. We need to see a little bit more of that as well, because I know we had the coaches coming out from abroad looking for the talent through initiatives that was set up from the private sector. So we need to see. I know there are a few, but we need to see more of that.
We cannot do this by ourselves. This is not this is not a GFA or a football issue.
Yep.
This is a national issue. This is, the biggest successes in Grenada came from what? Sports. Kirani James winning a gold medal, Lyndon Felix, Anderson. These are the biggest moments in the history of Grenada, right? So there's no academic person getting a degree or doctorate or whatever has been more impressive than Kirani winning a gold medal at the Olympics. So government, private sector need to take a step back and look at their investments and understand how important it is to invest in sports in Grenada. Not just football, track and field, basketball, cricket. Because when a Devon Smith or Raw Lewis or Lyndon Victor or Anderson Peters, when one of them make it, then all of a sudden Grenada gets a spike. Everybody's excited. We have motorcade. Everybody's all excited. But the few times that Grenada was on the high is because of sports.
Yeah.
So Grenada, as a country, as a government, as a private sector, need to invest in the game. Need to invest in sports.
I think that with the kids, they shouldn't only be taught football, but as we said, football is a multi-million dollar industry, and there's a lot of money in football. So I think from an early age, you can probably pump this in the head as well, because we know back then we used to do it more for the love, but there is way more opportunities now. We should make it much more easier for them to show interest in the sport.
No, I agree.
Mr. Green, I know we've had you for a while, so we want to say thank you again for coming to us and just talking about the development of the sport and talking about what needs to happen to get football to the next level in Grenada. We appreciate you here. Thank you
very much, Mikey.
It was a pleasure, man.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So.
Mikey, we could go all night.
Yeah, all night. I'm telling you.
Football we're
That's
talking
football
about.
we're talking about. We could talk all night, and it's good when we have the minds who are being very, what should I say, scientific about how things are being done.
Looking
so
at
not doing
things on a wide
yeah,
scale,
yeah,
not just
Viking
in a
vice.
box.
Yeah, and so I think football is in good hands.
Good hands, most definitely.
I see that some of the executive members are here, and I know how passionate they are about football. Yeah, I mean it's going to be good. Hi, how are you? Welcome. Oh yeah. This is, after all, this is the red carpet,
Yeah,
royalty,
man.
Yeah, that's the red carpet, royalty.
Carpet
so I'm happy to see how people, just liking themselves, some of the footballers, they don't get time for that, So putting aside like a 2 hours for them.
Feel appreciated.
Yeah, man. I've seen some players here. I never see them dress yet, and I never see them outside of
the most you see them is in uniform.
Yeah, in the uniform. I've never seen them outside of their uniform, So it's good to see them with their little talks and their nice shoe and things like that,
Most definitely.
Yeah, just see them on a whole different level, having the conversations with them, getting into their psyche, hearing what they think about, football and so on. Yeah, man, that's good. So, folks, again, we are here on the red carpet. Mike here, when you're tall, when I look at us on the live, I find it taller. When God was giving height, where he was?
In front of the line.
I tell people I was distributing, and I was so generous with God that I forgot to take some for myself.
Yeah, but when short people don't get the height, they have the attitude.
Yes, yeah.
They have the mindset.
To make the height.
I'm telling you, they're making up for the height somewhere or the other.
Yeah, man. So, folks, we're here again on the red carpet. The vibe's nice on the inside. Just now, I don't want me, they say what the big. Just now, But we're gonna take a quick break to say thank you to our sponsors, and we'll be back.
this evening by Mr. Nigel Gibbs on pan. Thank you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, 100 years is a far, far way to come from. And so we couldn't be here on our own. And we give thanks to God for bringing us this far. Could you stand as we reverence ourselves and say the prayer our Father taught us? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Voices, please. Give us this day and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may be seated. Honorable Delma Thomas, Minister of Youth and Sports, Mr. Elkan Mamadov, Chief Member, Association Officer, FIFA, Hervé Blanchard, Barbados Regional Office and FIFA Lead, Mr. Jason Roberts, Chief Development, CONCACAF Officer, Mr. Howard McIntosh, Director of Member Services, Caribbean, CONCACAF, Mr. Marlon Glean, President of the Grenada Football Association, executive members of the Grenada Football Association, club presidents, awardees, specially invited guests, our extended audience joining us via the live stream on Mikey Live. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I am Brenda Batiste, and I am honored to be one of your hosts for this evening.
And I am Javon Bartholomew. Tonight, we celebrate a century of excellence in football, from the pioneers who laid the foundation to the players, coaches, and stakeholders shaping the future of football in Grenada. Before we proceed, however, we must acknowledge our proud sponsors who have made this momentous event possible, some of whom also consistently support the GFA's activities throughout the year. The Grenada Football Association welcomes partnerships and collaborations with organizations and companies. So if there is any organization or company tuned in via the live stream that is interested in partnering, please reach out to the GFA office at your earliest convenience. Your support is welcomed. And of course, the list of sponsors for this evening's event: Antillean Group, Carib Brewery Grenada Limited, City Inn, the Grenada Bottling Company, Going Places Travel, LL Ramdani and Company Limited, Megaforce Promotions, the National Lotteries Authority, Nexa Credit Union, Nirvana Health Spa, Sandals Grenada, Supreme Graphic Designs, True Blue Bay Resort, Tyrrell Bay Express, Westerhall Rums, and the Grenadian General Insurance.
We have an exciting program lined up for you, including award presentations. Really, what we're doing here tonight. Special tributes, and of course, an after party to close off the evening. Before we get into the meat of the matter, just some small housekeeping matters. Just to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, that the charcuterie board is still open. It's at the back, so you can still feast. Get up and feast if you need to. All the stations out at the front, they will remain open as well. So from time to time, if you want to refresh yourself, feel free to do so. And later in the evening, the formal buffet in the dining room at the back will be open to you. So in the meantime, you have the stations outside, there's doubles, all sorts of exciting things out there. I think fish cake and bakes too, right? And all of that outside. Of course, the bar is open, and you can treat yourself to the charcuterie at the back. The restrooms, the men's, it's to my right. It'll be to your left. And I'd just like to invite the gentlemen to enter the men's room. Yeah, there's a treat in there. You'll find out. I don't know. And of course, the ladies' room is right there as well. Ladies and gentlemen, as we gather tonight to celebrate the Grenada Football Association, the GFA Centennial milestone, it is fitting that we take a moment to reflect on the remarkable origin of this organization. It is an institution, really, that has stood as a pillar of passion, unity, and progress in the Grenadian landscape for 100 years.
It all began in 1924, when two visionary founding fathers, Crofton Ferguson and Leonard Slinger, alongside their associates, organized clubs and competitions, laying the foundation for organized football in Grenada. Their dedication to the sport carried on until the Second World War, when handwritten records show the leadership of Dr. Aubrey Rapier as president and Christian St. Louis as secretary, supported by notable figures like G.C. Grant, then headmaster of the Grenada Boys Secondary School and a former captain of the West Indies cricket team.
In the 1940s, the torch was carried by F.R. Phillip, A.I. Thompson, and Cecil Bayer, while the 1950s brought a new wave of leadership with icons like Eric Copeland, W.G. Redhead, H.W. Robertson, Gordon Renwick, Alec Bain, J.D. Cummings, and Alistair McIntyre. We also remember Colin Laddie McIntyre, H.D. Maguire, and H.M. Hughes, whose legacies are now immortalized as house names at the Grenada Boys Secondary School.
In 1953, Grenada achieved a historic milestone by affiliating with the Grenada Football Association, with the Caribbean Football Association, the forerunner of today's Caribbean Football Union, under the presidency of Norris Hughes. Around this time, the St. John family, Walter and Roy, emerged as key figures, joined by the contributions of Henry Piap Ferguson, Leonard Papa Plug Smith, and Royston Lahey.
It was during the presidency of Walter St. John, OBE, that Grenada reached another pinnacle, becoming a member of FIFA at the Argentina Congress in 1978, a moment that firmly placed Grenada on the global football map. Additionally, in that same year, Grenada also became a member of CONCACAF.
This incredible journey, built on the vision and resilience of our founding fathers and of those who followed, has brought us to where we are today. Their sacrifices, dedication, and passion have fueled a century of progress and have set the stage for the future of Grenadian football.
So tonight, as we honor our legacy and celebrate our present. Let us also remember the visionaries and the trailblazers who paved the way for this historic occasion. Here's to their spirit. Here's to the next century of football excellence.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Welcome to the
to the GFA
GFA
Centennial
Awards
Awards Ceremony and Cocktail Party.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep the applause going and join us in welcoming to the podium Mr. Marlon Glean, the president of the Grenada Football Association.
Thank you, Brenda. Honorable Delma Thomas, Minister of Youth and Sports. Mr. Elkan Mamadov, Chief Member Association Officer at FIFA. Hervé Blanchard, the Regional Office FIFA Lead. Mr. Jason Roberts, Chief of Development at CONCACAF. Mr. Howard McIntosh, Director of Member Services for the Caribbean at CONCACAF. Executive members of the Grenada Football Association, club presidents, awardees, special invited guests, all the legends who would have served Grenada football over the years, sponsors, good evening. I want to welcome everyone here tonight. It's good to see everyone coming together, especially in these times. In these times when we have a world that's divided, when we have a region that's divided, when we have a country that's divided, it's great to see all of us coming together, not just here to celebrate because it's the Christmas season, but because we're here to celebrate the world's greatest sport, that is football. But also we're here to celebrate the individuals, especially the individuals who have contributed to the Football Association over the last 100 years. Today, I stand proud to recognize all the individuals who would have committed and sacrificed to the Grenada Football Association over the last 100 years. We've come a long way. From the days of community football, from the days of individuals borrowing boots to play games, from the days of, you know, in some of the small communities where you didn't have enough to actually play the sport, to today when it's an industry of billions of dollars, where every individual has that opportunity to go on to play at a high level and actually realize a career from playing this game. Most importantly, the Grenada Football Association today is on firm grounds in that we're in a position where we can actually kick off development. When we started this project just over 2 years ago, I pledged that we're going to restart the football. We're going to provide a foundation for young boys and girls to participate in a sport so that they can realize their dreams. The dreams they see on TV every day. The dreams they see in the English Premier League, in the Champions League, at the World Cup. We're a small country, and all it takes is one kid to break through. Trinidad and Tobago saw it a couple years ago when one kid named Dwight York made it to Manchester United. Jamaica realized it as a small country when they played in the World Cup. And then Trinidad, a couple of years later, played in the World Cup. There is no impossible in football anymore. Everything is possible. A kid from Florida or Cloget or in River-Sally or in Moncton or in Montreach can actually become a world star in this game and make millions of dollars for themselves, for their family, for their community, and for their country. It's very realistic. Once upon a time, we looked at football as a dream, as a sport. We've never looked at football as a business, as a career. So when I was growing up, every parent in Grenada wanted their son or daughter to become a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer. Today, a footballer makes 100 times more than what any doctor or lawyer or engineer can make. So it is a viable career. We need to make sure that our kids are playing more sport. In Grenada today, we need to understand the term student athlete. We cannot continue to differentiate the students from the athletes. Because what we find in Grenada, the students go on and become the 10 subjects and 15 subject passes and then struggle to get a job. And the footballers are pushed aside because they can only pass 3 or 4 CXC subjects. We need to find a way to bring the football or the sports, not just football, but track and field and cricket and basketball and every other sport. We need to find a way to marry sports and education. The successes of Grenada, the major successes of Grenada, all of them have been around sports. Kirani James winning multiple medals at the World Championship, at Olympics. Anderson, Lyndon Victor. The major successes of this country is grounded in sports. Yet still, we do not invest in sports in Grenada. We try to put all the money in social and economic and all these other areas of the country. We put nothing in sports, yet still, we try to celebrate and have motorcades and whatever else when our athletes do well. It's only a matter of time before a Grenadian, grounded, home-based player becomes a professional footballer. It's only a matter of time. It will happen. Some of us are not seeing the vision. As I said before, if there is a Kirani coming out of Grenada, if there is a Kirani coming out of Guav on the land somewhere, there are multiple Kiranis sitting around Grenada just waiting for that opportunity. There are multiple Kiranis sitting in Grenada just waiting to be identified and managed and taken to the next level. We've done it before. We've seen players in Grenada over the last 40 and 50 years who probably could have played at the English Premier League. The C.J. Williams, the Boboy Hood, the Steve Mark. We've seen so many players who were as great as anybody you would have seen on TV, but they were never managed over a period of time and was never provided with those opportunities. We cannot continue to fail the next generation of our young people. We cannot. We need to find a way to invest in our young people. So that's why we need to continue to provide opportunities for them to play. So this year we started our national grassroots program. And our objective was to get to about 4,000 or 5,000 kids playing football all over Grenada every Saturday. So far, we've reached just about 3,000 or just under 3,000. But by next year, we will reach our 4,000 to 5,000 mark, where every kid in Grenada should be playing football on Saturdays. But also, thanks to FIFA, we've just been granted what we call the new talent development program. So we've just been approved, and as soon as January, we're going to start implementing the talent development scheme. And what the TDS program does is it brings the best players in Grenada. We're trying to bring the best 13, 14, 15, 16-year-olds together and train at the highest level so that they can be on the pathway to professional football, so that we can fast track their ability to play professional football. We've also launched last year our Football in Schools program, again thanks to FIFA, a new program developed by FIFA to ensure that there are football in schools. But we cannot do this alone. We need government to support us to ensure that within the curriculum of schools, football gets a space so that kids can play. So FIFA has provided all the requisite materials, etc. So now we just need the buy-in from government and the schools and the physical education teachers to make sure that every school in Grenada will be playing football during the year next year. We have to start from the start, as I mentioned, and we have to start with grassroots. We must continue to provide an opportunity for our 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9-year-olds to play football. We cannot wait until they enter secondary school at 13 and 14 where they start playing football. Once upon a time, we had a vibrant primary school league. It's no more. So what we have now is a lost generation of kids going into secondary school, getting into Form 1 and Form 2, and they cannot play football. They've never played football before. So how do we get primary school football back on the curriculum at primary schools? Because primary school is where you capture every kid in Grenada. Not at Queen's Park Rangers, not at Paradise, not at Hard Rock, not at St. John Sports. The only place you capture every kid in Grenada is at the school. So we must, yesterday I was at the secondary school finals. Nice turnout, good football. We had the finals of the junior boys, the senior boys, and the women's or girls. But we have to go further down. We have to get the kids playing in the primary schools. When we did it one time, I remember primary school football in the 80s. We used to have 3,000 and 4,000 people watching primary school football. Today, it doesn't exist. So we have kids coming from primary school, going into secondary school, and they've never played organized football before. So we have to get primary school football back up and running. But as I said, today is about celebration, celebrating football. We're here to celebrate the great game. We're here to celebrate what we love in Grenada. As much as some people believe football, Grenada is a cricket country, I think in terms of participation, we'll see that football far outweighs any other sport. As much as we'd have had more success in track and field, but we know in terms of participation, football supersedes track and field or any other sport. We're here to celebrate tonight the past, all the individuals, all the legends that would have contributed to the football over the years. And the future, where do we go from here? We cannot come to 100 years and continue to do business as usual. We have to change. We have to restructure. We have to have new vision as we go into the next 100 years. So as we go forward, the emphasis must be on building back the football, starting from zero and building as we go forward. So I want to thank everybody for coming. Have a good night and enjoy the rest of the celebrations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, President Marlon Glean. Let's hear it for him one more time. Up next, we take a look back at the incredible journey of Grenadian football over the past year with a special video presentation. Let's celebrate the moments that have made this a centennial year of the Grenada Football Association truly remarkable. Let's take a look.
I must say it's been fun with them. We've come across numerous personalities, and we believe that we're doing the right thing in not only seeking out talent, but also creating lifelong fans for football.
We love this country. Grenada, we love you.
It has truly been a year of enormous accomplishments and great milestones for the GFA and, of course, for football in Grenada. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our honor to introduce our distinguished figures in international football to share some reflections on regional, international, and domestic football and its promising future. We invite you to turn your attention back to the screen for a video address from Mr. Gianni Infantino, President of FIFA.
Dear President, dear Marlon, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, what a year it has been for the Grenada Football Association, and I'm pleased to have the chance to congratulate you all again as these special 12 months come to a close. You have no doubt looked back on many of the achievements of the last 100 years. But now is also the time to look forward and see what can be achieved in the future. I can assure you of FIFA's support as you look to develop football in Grenada, a country that has such a rich tradition across so many sports. And some of this support comes through the FIFA Forward program. It can fund your projects, your ideas, your dreams of how you want to shape your football of the future. When we talk about building a future for the game, we must ask, who are we building it for? So I was delighted to see the Grenada Football Association implement the FIFA Football for Schools program, giving a chance to the girls and boys in Grenada today to become women and men in the Grenada of tomorrow, who not only love football, but who will have experienced what it is to work as part of a team on and off the pitch. Many thanks to you for also working closely with FIFA's talent development scheme. The most talented amongst them now have a pathway to the professional game. It would, without a doubt, be a dream come true for you all to see Grenada playing on the global stage. Well, FIFA has expanded our tournament to give countries like yours more opportunities to do that, to showcase your football, to compete, to learn, to grow. Of course, the FIFA World Cup 26 is being played in your region with up to 5 CONCACAF teams joining the 3 co-hosts. This presents a wonderful opportunity for your men's national team, and of course, best wishes to them for the remainder of the qualifying competition. Dear friends, congratulations once again to the Grenada Football Association. Congratulations as well to all the award winners, and I hope you all have a wonderful celebration. All the best to you all. Take care and see you soon.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gianni Infantino, President of FIFA. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Elkan Mamadov, the Chief Member Associations Officer, FIFA.
Dear President Marlon, dear representatives of the state, of the government, dear General Secretary Carl, representatives of CONCACAF, dear football family of Grenada. It's a great pleasure for me to be here today to celebrate 100 years of your football. It's a privilege for me to be here today as my first visit to the region and my new functions, and to line with you together to celebrate 100 years of your football. As you can see, I learned a bit already, some phrases to use in your beautiful country. Using this opportunity, I would like to express appreciation to GFA for implementation of different projects of FIFA and working closely with us. As President just mentioned, it is important to invest into youth development, infrastructure, and as you mentioned, President, it's also important giving the opportunities for girls and boys to play football. I strongly believe we don't have to wait another 100 years for people, for family, football family like yours, to come together and to see the legacy of what you're doing today. Once again, I would like to congratulate you with 100 years of your football and wishing you all the best. And I think later on it will be a nice time to lime. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mamadov, for your remarks.
And can I invite you, please, Mr. President, to present you some special gifts from FIFA President and Secretary General.
Mr. Mamadov, we ask you to remain as President Marlon Glean presents a token of appreciation to you.
Just so that you know, Elkan has just been in the position of Chief Member Association Officer since November 1st. I've known Elkan when he used to be responsible for Europe, but today he's chief of all the member associations around the world. And this is his first visit to the Caribbean, his first visit to this region. So we want to show appreciation. I reached out to him and said to him that he had to be here and he couldn't miss this. And he said he was going to do all in his powers to make sure that he got here amongst his busy schedule. So I want to thank him for showing up in Grenada and being part of our celebration. And we're going to reward him with our national team shirt. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And so, Mr. Mamadov, we hope that this, your first time, will not be your last time. We look forward to seeing you very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, continuing in the spirit of distinguished speakers, let us invite our very own Mr. Jason Roberts, Chief of Development at CONCACAF and one of tonight's awardees, to give a few remarks. Mr. Roberts, let's put our hands together.
Thank you and good evening. Before I start, I just want to say how fantastic it is to be here amongst friends and families back here in Grenada. Representative of government, President Glean, General Secretary Lee, representative of FIFA. I want to take this moment to tell a story about where we are and this special island of Grenada. I feel especially honored because in my journey of being a Grenadian international, I had the opportunity to choose Grenada. Many people are born in Grenada. My grandmother was born in Happy Hill, some miles down the road. And when I had the opportunity to play for the England under-21s or Grenada, I was proud to choose Grenada. And there was a reason why. This rich culture and the people and what sport means to us. 100 years of the GFA is testament to the vision and the passion that we have for football. And I think everybody here should give themselves a round of applause for being a small part of that history. I see faces here that have given so much to this country, not only as referees and administrators and coaches, but as players, and maybe those who have just watched the game. But in my proudest moments, and I had to Google this, in the hundreds of games that I played in the UK and the hundreds of goals, playing for my country was by far the most important part of my life. And I thank Grenada for what it has given me, in not only representing it, but also allowing it to make Grenada my home. So for that, I feel so honored and so proud. But I would also like to say congratulations to the GFA for the work that's being done. It was highlighted with the work in the grassroots, with the TDS, the work with young people. And I think this has been twinned with the work that's been done within the CONCACAF region. Not only the investment in our One CONCACAF program, making sure that millions of dollars is being supporting the work of our member associations, but also in the excitement of what we know is coming in 2026. And when we look around at our team and we look at the competition that we have, what's wrong with us dreaming that maybe in 2026 we could have a team to participate in the World Cup? Who wouldn't want that to happen for Grenada? All of us believe that we can achieve amazing things. President Glean spoke about Karani James. There is no way that somebody would have looked at that young man's journey and imagined that he would achieve what he has gone on to achieve. So maybe we can dream that Grenada has not only represented at the highest level at Confederation, representing ourselves at the Gold Cup, but also that we can go one step further. And I think this is part of the One CONCACAF vision that President Victor Montagliani has delivered, which is making sure that more opportunities for our countries, just like Grenada within the region, are being had. And the biggest benefit is that we know that some of the larger nations will be going to the World Cup, but maybe there's a chance that we can do that too. Over the next few days, I'm really blessed to be able to be here, and much like President Glean, sometimes our work has taken us away, but I know that Grenada has never been far from the President's heart, and it will never be far from my heart. I was speaking to Mrs. Griffiths earlier, and she reminded me of a word which I think is really important, which is service. And so many of these people here have given so much service to our country. It's important that we continue to remember that the next 100 years is going to take service from so many of us, and all of us must be ready to serve and sacrifice for our country like many have done before us. So I hope that we can take this as a moment to reflect, to congratulate those that have done so much for us, but also to consider about what we can do for the future. And I thank you so much, President Glean, and the whole of the GFA in Grenada for welcoming us here in this special Spice Island. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Jason Roberts, and thank you to both FIFA, of course, through the President Infantino, although he couldn't be here with us this evening, but Mr. Mamadov, you're here, and we're going to ensure that you have a wonderful Grenadian welcome that you would never forget. And thank you, our own minted Jason Roberts, son of the soil, a Grenadian excellence, representing us at CONCACAF. Thank you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, to bring congratulatory remarks from the government of Grenada, please welcome the Honorable Delma Thomas, Minister for Youth and Sport.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chairperson. Pleasant good evening to every one of you. I want to adopt the protocol list. 100 years is not just a number. It's a testament to resilience, passion, and unity. Over decades, the GFA has been a cornerstone of Grenadian sports, bringing communities together and giving our youth an opportunity for the talent and the ambitions. Tonight, we honor not just the past, but also the spirit of progress that drives Grenadian football forward. The government is proud to support the development of football and sports across the nation. We understand that sports, especially football, in the lives of young people offering pathways to education, professional opportunities, continue to invest in infrastructure, training programs, and youth development initiatives to ensure that the next 100 years from the GFA as it relates to grassroots football and football in the school, and we are in the process of reviewing but the other sporting disciplines. We also the level of appreciating that sports is so very important for our young people. Football has always been more than just a game. It's a tool of empowerment to our youths. Through programs like the grassroots development and partnership with international organizations, we are creating opportunities for young athletes to excel both on and off the fields. Let this centennial serve as a reminder of the importance of investing in young talent and ensuring they have the resources to achieve greatness. And the truth is, a lot of times we invest a lot in academic education, into the CXC and the PhD and the bachelor's degree. But we appreciate that our young people can find gainful employment in sports like football, athletics, and so as a government, we have a responsibility and pledge to invest in sports across our tri-island state. Together, we must continue to build on the strong foundation of the GFA, creating an environment where football thrives at every level, from grassroots to the international stage. Let us commit, and as a government, we commit to fostering and providing the support to ensure that sports, including football, are given the support that is needed. In closing, I want to once again congratulate GFA, 100 incredible years. Your achievements over the past century have laid the groundwork for an even brighter future for Grenadian football. To the awardees, thank you for your contribution and for inspiring us all with your commitment and excellence. Here is to another 100 years of footballing greatness in Grenada. Thank you, and I enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you so much, Honorable Delma Thomas, for your remarks, and also for committing to further playing your part to development of youth and sports in Grenada, especially football. We look forward to your continued relationship. In honorarium of former footballers who are no longer with us, we pause for a moment of silence as we look at a short slideshow. I invite you to place your attention to the screen. All right, thank you so much.
And now, the moment we've all been waiting for, the awards. Tonight, we honor the individuals and teams that have made outstanding contributions to Grenadian football. The GFA has done extensive research in identifying the following awardees. And although we know that for a fact, because, documentation is a weakness here in Grenada, due to the lack of data captured throughout the years, a few names apart from those honored tonight may come to mind. Those of you viewing, especially those of you in the diaspora and those of you in wider Grenada, the GFA asks that you reach out with any information that you may have with those recommendations and or names of people you did not hear this evening so they can build their data for the next celebration. Trust it won't be 100 years, but we now live in the digital age and they would like to firm up on things like documentation.
Each award represents not just achievement, but also the spirit of dedication and passion that defines the GFA's legacy in Grenada. These awards will be presented to contributors from 1960 to present. For those of you who attended our Legends and Celebrity All-Star matches earlier this year, you would have noted that the GFA also awarded and acknowledged significant contributors during the match. Now, let's begin tonight's award presentations. And it's important to note that tonight we have 46 awardees, some of whom are senior at this time, and so it may just be past their bedtime. So they may not be with us this evening to collect their awards. All right? Nevertheless, we are going to acknowledge them. Of course, it's important to acknowledge them and their contributions to football in Grenada. And so we begin tonight's awards starting from the 1960s to 1970s. And of course, these awards will be provided or presented, to ex-nationals. These awards were sponsored by the National Lottery Authority, and I would like to invite the representative from the NLA, Ms. Cecile Greenidge, to present the first set of awards. Cecil, sorry. I apologize. And so our first awardee for tonight is none other than Mr. Carl Moppy Cherubim. Let's put our hands together for him. I know he's here. I spoke with him earlier. Here he comes. Let's put our hands together for him again. Our next awardee is Mr. Norris Forteau. Put our hands together. Mr. Barry James, Mr. Brian Grimm Williams, Mr. Carlos Pecos Lewis, Mr. Carlisle Soup Redhead, Mr. Douglas Boy Hood, Mr. Jude Cafe Mitchell. I think Mr. Jude is present. Mr. Jude, if you're here, can you please come forward? And so receiving the award on his behalf is Miss Annalasia Mitchell, his daughter. And this award, given to Mr. Jude, was sponsored by the Grenada Bottling Company. Other awardees from this time period: Mr. Kenton Fry Roberts, Mr. Carl Campbell, Mr. Carlton Bug Belfon. And this award is sponsored by the Next Credit Union, Mr. Jude Baller Head Julian, Mr. Roderick Rado Griffith. And so these are all of the awardees from 1960 to 1980. So let's put our hands together for them again.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate this centennial milestone, of course, this one was also a special milestone for Grenada. It is important to honor those who have paved the way. So this evening, we pay special tribute to the 1989 Shell Caribbean Cup team. Before we proceed with the awards, let us take a moment to reflect on one of the most remarkable achievements in Grenadian football history, the 1989 Shell Caribbean Cup. Who remembers that? That year, Grenada stunned the region by finishing as runners-up in this fiercely contested tournament. Against all odds, our team's journey to the final showcased extraordinary talent and determination, earning us respect and recognition across the Caribbean. Although we fell to Jamaica in the final, this achievement remains a proud moment in our nation's football legacy, inspiring future generations and highlighting the growth of the sport in Grenada. Tonight, we honor the 1989 team and their remarkable contribution to football in Grenada. Not here with us this evening, but head coach of the Shell Cup football team, Mr. Ashley Ram Folks. Let's give him a hearty round of applause. And to present the awards, let's invite Ms. Verdian Charles, the representative from Antillean Group, who are sponsoring these next set of awards. We welcome Ms. Charles from Antillean Group. Mr. Folks is not here with us, but I'm sure he's looking on. So let's give him a hearty round of applause. And Mr. Folks, just so you are aware, you have some additional gifts coming from Westerhall Rums. Chenny Joseph, another member of that remarkable 1989 Shell Cup team. Mr. Joseph is not here with us this evening. Let's give him a round of applause. He was certainly a star on the field. I remember that. Martin Felix, he was also another stalwart on the Shell Cup team. Godfrey Littlefree Williams. Chester David. Chester is here with us. We invite Chester to receive his award. Ken Lewis, Sean Lewis rather, is receiving on behalf of Chester. We'd also like to invite Miss Sandra Sylvester from City Inn. City Inn is providing Mr. Chester David with a complimentary lunch for two. So Ms. David would also present that to you, Mr. Lewis, and you take that back to Mr. Chester David, and he'll decide what happens with it. Thank you so much to City Inn, and congratulations to Mr. Chester David, one of the stalwarts of the 1989 Shell Cup team. Mr. Wayne Hood, Christopher Tiggis Bernard, Clarence Pele Joseph, Michael Babes Henry. We now invite Miss Natalie Flavini to present the next sets of awards. Miss Natalie Flavini. She here? All right, we move on. Raphael Forsyth, Robinson Ants Cornwall, Selwyn Paul, and this little magician, Rudolph Zagada Cyrus. Mr. Junior Cyrus will receive on behalf of Zagada Cyrus, and we invite Mrs. Ronique Marshall from the Grenada Breweries Limited to also present a day pass for two, to present the award rather, and a day pass for two to be presented by Mrs. Rohan St. Louis of Sandals, Grenada. Mrs. Ronique Marshall and Miss Rohan St. Louis. In their absence, we'll go ahead and present the awards. Go right ahead. Again, the reward being presented to Rudolph Zagada Cyrus, member of the 1989 Shell Cup team. A big round of applause for Charlery Joseph. Mr. Anthony Nixon Modeste would receive the award on his behalf. And he received for Charlery, he'll also receive his own award as a member of that team. Anthony Nixon Modeste of the 1989 Shell Cup team. A remarkable team it was indeed. The next member to be awarded from that team, Patrick Modeste. Nixon, you received that one too? Okay, Randy Campbell would receive the award for Patrick Modeste. Thank you, Mr. Campbell. Mr. Campbell is the first Vice President of the Grenada Football Association, and he would receive the award on behalf of Mr. Patrick Modeste. This award is sponsored by the Grenadian General Insurance. And the last two awards were sponsored by Caribbery Grenada Limited. Our next award will be presented to Jason Roberts. Jason was a member of the dynamic Shell Cup team as well. We invite Mr. Marlon Glean to present the award to Jason Roberts. We did them. So all 90s players, Charlery Joseph, Anthony Nixon Modeste. Nixon, you stood there and you allow me to age you. Charlery Joseph, Anthony Nixon Modeste, Patrick Modeste, Jason Roberts, Ricky Curry Charles, Mr. Desmond Noel would receive on behalf of Ricky Curry Charles. Invite GFA President Mr. Marlon Glean to present the next sets of awards. So, Mr. President Glean, back on your feet. And Mr. Desmond Noel will receive on behalf of Ricky Curry Charles, another stalwart Grenadian footballer. More awards. Remain standing, Mr. Glean, President Glean. The next award, Stalwarts of 90s to 2000, Ian Andrew. Ricky Aberdeen would receive the award on behalf of Mr. Ian Andrew. Kasim Dorset Langain. Kitson Bain. Jake Rennie. Let's hear it for Mr. Rennie. And Jake, if you could kindly oblige and receive the award for Mr. Ian Andrew as well. We'd greatly appreciate that. You have wide shoulders. You can carry two. Oh, okay. Thank you so very much, Jake, and thank you to President Marlon Glean. We appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following awards will be presented to our FIFA referees, 11 in total. To present the first set of awards, I'd like to invite Mr. Howard McIntosh, Director of Member Services for the Caribbean. The first awardee, Mr. David Bumpy Griffith. Mr. Norris. Put your hands together for him, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Norris Forto. Mr. Carlos Pecos Lewis. Mr. Valman Bidot. Okay, so it seems like these persons are not with us at the moment. I say thank you to Mr. Howard McIntosh for presenting these awards. I'd like to invite Mr. Elkan Mamadov, representative from FIFA, to present the next set of awards. I invite Mr. Kessie Phillip to come forward. Captain Sparrow. Please stay, Mr. Mamadov. Mr. George Philip, Mr. Clinton Daniel, Mr. Rion Radix. Put your hands together for him, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Ernest Richardson, Mr. Allison Phillip, and Mr. Finbar Raga Charles. And so if they are not present, I'd like to thank Mr. Mamadov for presenting these awards. The next set of awards will be presented to persons who are involved in youth development in football here in Grenada. Sponsoring these awards, first award is Sandals Grenada. I'd like to ask a representative from Sandal to, if you are here, to please present the award. Receiving the first award, Mr. Carlos Pecos Lewis. The next award, or the next two awards, are sponsored by LL Ramdani and Company Limited. To present these awards, I'd like to invite Mr. Ryan Boyd, representative from LL Ramdani. Let's put our hands together for him as he comes forward. Our next awardee is Mr. Oscar Chess Andal. And Mr. Leon Braveboy is going to collect on his, Caliste, sorry, is going to collect on his behalf. Our next awardee is Mr. Wendell Wizzo Wilson. Put our hands together for Mr. Wendell as he comes to receive his award. I apologize. Receiving on his behalf is Miss Ramona Laborde, his daughter. Put your hands together for her. Thank you to Mr. Boyd for presenting these awards. The next set of awards was sponsored or are sponsored by Megaforce Promotions. And I'd like to invite Mr. Wayne Wagiti Redhead to present the next awards. Put your hands together as Mr. Redhead comes forward. Our next awardee, Mr. Carlisle C.J. Williams. Let's welcome him to receive his award. I know he's here. He probably stepped out. And so he's making his grand entry. So let's put our hands together again for him. Words of appreciation and gratitude from Mr. Carlisle C.J. Williams. You're welcome. Mr. Wayne Wagiti Redhead, also sponsored awards to Mr. Dexter Pi Lawrence, Mr. Garvey Wilson, and Mr. John Williams, who are not with us at the moment. And so we say thank you to Mr. Redhead for sponsoring these awards.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together and congratulate all the awardees, the people that the GFA awarded here tonight. All 46 of them, and then some. Remember, whatever you remembered, please send the information into the Grenada Football Association. Be in touch with them so they can start building their data and recognizing those who served us well. Right? They are our sports ambassadors. So let's hear it for them one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, as we close this formal segment of the evening, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to all the attendees, sponsors, and partners who made this evening possible. But we can't leave you before we have some official closing remarks from the GFA. And so please welcome Mr. Carl Lee. He is the General Secretary of the Grenada Football Association. Carl Lee.
Good night, everyone. We thank everyone for coming out tonight. It's an initiative that we started, and as was said tonight with the little database, we were able to come up with some names to award and to appreciate everyone. We thank the sponsors, FIFA representative, CONCACAF, the staff of the GFA, everyone that played a part in tonight's activity. We say thank you. Thank you to everyone. We congratulate the awardees, and we trust that this evening will be an enjoyable one. Thanks again to everyone, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lee. Of course, everyone here present tonight, we thank you. Fridays are hard. Grenada traffic is becoming crazy. Those of you who came from the south, I know it's difficult to get here for the time you did, but we really appreciate you coming. Those of you online, thank you so very much. We really appreciate you, the viewers who joined us for this live broadcast on this momentous occasion, and to Mikey Live and his professional team for bringing us to you. Joining us this evening is your testament and support and beliefs in the efforts of the Grenada Football Association as the organization continues to develop football within and beyond Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. We'd like to thank our proud sponsors of the GFA Centennial Awards, Antillian Group, Carib Brewery Grenada Limited, City Inn, Grenada Bottling Company, Going Places Travel, LL Ramdani and Company Limited, Megaforce Promotions, the National Lotteries Authority, Nexa Credit Union, Nirvana Health Spa, Sandals Grenada, Supreme Graphic Designs, True Blue Bay Resort, Tyrrell Bay Express, and Westerhall Rums. Grenada General Insurance, a special thanks to you as well.